All right, so today we're unlimited people here, so this is kind of good because that way more people can talk and ask questions. Um, I want to kind of do a recap on everything that we've covered in the last 3 weeks. Tracy, were you able to watch all? I think I sent you 2 videos
Mhm.
for the previous for sub-owners.
So I haven't yet, but I was in a previous class,
Okay,
right? So I have seen them already,
okay, groovy. Okay,
but I'm going to watch the previous videos. Hey, I didn't get last week's emailed to me.
what?
I don't
You
think
didn't?
so.
Okay, I'll resend it.
Thank you.
I'm gonna include all 4 weeks in this
Okay.
next email.
Okay. Thank you.
Um, okay, so here's what we talked about in the very first class. The first class we talked about how to get free leads, how to do that search through Cubic Solution using that application, $29 a year. Um, then we also talked about how to set up a search on Craigslist. Kenneth, do you have any questions about Cubic Solutions or setting up a search on Craigslist?
No, I've done it.
Is it working?
Yes, I just got it set up with sales dialers today, so I'll
Oh,
be
good.
starting tomorrow.
Did you use that promo code, promo 628?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Promo 628. Okay.
It's promo, PROMO 628.
Okay.
Somebody sent me a text yesterday. I can't figure out how to make this promo code work. I keep putting 628 and it's not working. Said it's promo 628.
That was me.
Was that you? You big goofball.
That was me.
That's how these New York people are, you know. You know, they cover up their screens so we can't see them because they're in the witness protection program.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the next class we talked about how to throw those leads into sales dollars using that system to make multiple calls, multiple hundreds of calls per hour. I think if you use that system, it's going to change the way you do real estate. I mean, it's crazy what kind of results you're going to get if you use a phone dialer. If you sign up for it and don't use it, well, that's what kind of results you're going to get. Zero results. And then last week we talked about, we did some role playing, what to say on the telephone. So now what I want to do is I want to kind of convert what we talked about, Tracy, in the mastermind, how to use the international listings and borrowing listings from other people and showing that to a for sale by owner. Were you able to go to that website that I told you about, Tracy?
That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, I'm gonna. So Kenneth, you didn't hear any of this. I'm adding that to my listing presentation. I'm so excited about that.
It rocks. Kenneth,
It's
what we're talking
insane.
about, there is a website that you can go to. It's called globalmarketingagent.com.
Mm-hmm.
Globalmarketingagent.com. The
Yeah.
founder of this is Audrey and Olivier Mevelac. They're from France. They live in Dallas. Actually, Audrey moved from Dallas back to France. So she does a lot of her training webinars from France, which is kind of cool. So here's what happens. It's basically, it's going to show you how you can take a listing and borrow that listing with a signed agreement from the listing agent and promote it on your MLS as if it was your listing. So what you can do is you can go to different people that are associated with this, borrow their listings, and realistically, you could easily, if you did this and did nothing else but go after and contact realtors that are part of this, you could have 100 listings in 1 month. And I know that sounds crazy, but all you're doing is you're talking to other realtors and saying, hey, I want to help you sell your listing.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell they're going to say no. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Free
So,
exposure internationally. Yeah.
what now?
Free exposure internationally. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Mhm.
And, and it's just like I said in the webinar Monday, Kenneth, what I'm talking about, we have a mastermind webinar that we do every Monday. If you want to join us, it's free. You can jump onto that. We have a mastermind group, and what we talked about is how you can take listings from different realtors, promote them as if they're your own, and then that way you're perceived by your clients as being an international realtor, and they look at you going, wow, Tracy's really different. She's got listings in uh, Costa Rica. She's got listings in Dominican Republic. She has listings in different states. That's who I want to use. I don't want to use dumbass who's only selling in one little city.
Right.
And that's what's going to set you apart. So here's what I do. When I go to For Sale by Owners, this is exactly what I tell them using this system. I'll go to a For Sale by Owner and I'll tell them, this is what you've done. Now this is once they've agreed to list with me. Okay, so here's what happens, Mr. For Sale by Owner. What you've done in the past is you tried it for sale by owner and you put up a sign and nothing happened. Then you paid a flat fee and you did the flat fee deal just to get it on MLS, and that's all you got. You got MLS, it expired, and now we're back to now here I come in the picture. So I'm going to give you a different idea of what you can do in addition to putting it on MLS. Normally the commission is 6%. What I'd like for you to do, now remember, one of the questions I asked you, what's more important, how much you walk away with at closing or what you pay in commissions? Do you remember that question? And he'll say, yes. Does that still apply? Yes, as long as I get what I walk away. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to raise this commission to 7%. And I want to put it on multiple MLSs all over the world. In other words, I've got two people in mind. I've got a realtor in New York that can put it on his MLS and market it. I've got a realtor in Colorado who can put it on her MLS and market it. And if they bring the buyer or the buyer's agent, then they get paid. If they just slap it on their MLS and they do nothing, they don't get paid. The only person that gets paid is the person that brings the buyer or buyer's agent. So here's how the split works. If another realtor is involved outside of my MLS, then it's a three-way split instead of a two-way split, which means that I would get 2% as a listing agent. Tracy is my realtor in Colorado. She brings a buyer or buyer's agent. She gets 2% as the promoting agent.
I'll be right back.
And then the buyer's agent still gets their 3%. Kenneth, any questions on that so far?
Yes, I've never heard of that.
I know.
Promoting agent and buyer's agent. I've never heard of that.
Tracy, Kenneth just said he's never heard of that,
Yeah.
which is typical because most realtors have never heard of this system.
Right. I hadn't.
I know. I did a webinar for the brokerage that me and Tracy are with, and the whole class was all people from the same brokerage, and I was explaining this to them. And I mean, there was a broker in there from Florida who's been in the business over 30 years. He said he's never heard of this. Mm-hmm. So yes, it's possible. It's recognized by the National Association of Realtors. Under the ethics rule, I think it's Article 12 under the ethics rule, it clearly states that you can borrow a listing from another realtor as long as that realtor gives you permission to advertise and promote it. So what happens is, now here's the big gotcha. The big gotcha is if your MLS doesn't recognize out of area or out of state or out of country listings in their MLS, you're not going to be able to use the system. The only thing you can do is, instead of putting it on MLS, you could promote it on your website, Craigslist, or wherever else you advertise, because I've ran into that. My girlfriend is licensed in Panama City Beach, Florida, and I was talking to their board, and they didn't think that it was feasible for them to add cities or countries out of state. I said, well, it's because you don't understand. They said, well, we'll let you talk to the board. You got 5 minutes. I said, 5 minutes? I can't even pick my nose in 5 minutes, much less explain to you a system that's going to benefit everybody. So I walked away from Panama City Beach, Florida, and there's plenty of MLSs that will allow it. So what I want to do now is explain to you or answer questions on the approach that you would use by using this system to a for sale by owner. So Kenneth, since this is all new to you, Tracy's heard this and she's had some time to investigate this. Kenneth, what questions do you have?
Well, I do know my MLS has out of town, they call it. So everybody that has anything from outside the area is on there.
So so it's anything out of town?
Yes, anything.
Any city, any state, any country?
Yep.
Perfect. Then you can do it.
I don't know if mine does. I'm worried about it because I've never seen anything out of town.
I think yours, what MLS are you using?
It's called Matrix.
I bet you do, because we're using Matrix also.
I hope so.
When you do a search, go into your MLS and do a search for out of area. Like in Texas, anything outside of Texas is area 999.
Okay. 999.
Anything
I'm gonna call them. I'm gonna call them too.
Do what now?
I'm gonna call them too. That's an easy way to figure it out. But 999. Okay.
And then anything outside the United States is area 1000.
Okay, 1000. Got it.
So what's cool is I've gotten listings that weren't even in MLS. The city or state wasn't even in there. And so I sent them a copy of the agreement from the other realtor. And I say, here's a copy of the agreement. Can you add the city and state to the MLS? And they'll say, sure, we'll have that updated before the end of the day. And then I get an email from them. We've just added Costa Rica to the MLS. And it's kind of cool because they don't really have to add much. For schools, they're going to put Costa Rica schools. They don't have to put elementary, middle school, high school. They're just adding the basic information just to support all the required fields for that country. So anyway, that is an idea that you can use on a for sale by owner, because I can promise you no one that you're competing against is talking to them about putting it on multiple MLSs all over the world. You're going to blow their mind when you break out a little chart, and this is exactly what I show them. Oh, okay, good. This is it's funny because I've still got this up from the last time I showed this. Hold on, let me change it a little bit. So this is what I show. This is what I show the for sale by owner. This is an illustration. We have your house. We're going to pay 7%. I'm going to get 2%. Janet over here in a different state is going to get 2% as a promoting agent. The buyer's agent is going to get 3%. Sherry, who's in a different state, is going to get 2%. 3% goes to the buyer's agent. Tracy gets 2%, 3%. So let's just say that Janet is in Colorado, Cherie is in New York, Tracy's in Florida, we got another one in Canada, and you just keep on going. And what I do, when I show them this through a Zoom meeting, I just keep going until they tell me I get it. I mean, I kind of like go overboard. And I just keep going. And they're going, okay, I get it. I get it. And I show this is what it can look like for you. Or You can say, screw it. I'm not going to do any of this, and I just want to do it in one MLS for 6%. I've never had a for sale by owner turn me down on this system. Never. As long as I've been working for sale by owners. In the 10 years that I've been showing this to for sale by owners, not a single one has said, no, I'm not doing 7%, because I established in the beginning that the most important thing to him is to what he walks away with at closing, as opposed to what he pays in commission. If you don't establish that and make sure that he clearly understands that, you've lost the whole show. Tracy, any questions?
So I'd love to see one of your listing presentations, just start to finish.
You wouldn't.
I'd love
be really bored.
Yeah, I'd still love to be bored. It'd be delightful. I don't know, Kenneth, about you, but I'd sure love to see it.
Well, it's all over the phone. So remember, I don't physically go to their house.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's fine. Well, we would have to just do it from start to finish. I mean, that could be a long process, because remember, my phone calls are about 8 weeks long before I even start to talk to them about converting them for sale by owner. It's a long process. In your market, you told me the houses are moving very fast.
Yeah. I mean, the Marco Island gal, it sounds like she's in a shit market. Kenneth, I don't know what your market is.
Kenneth, how fast are houses going in New York?
I'd say 4 to 7. They're still going very well. Up above, you get $1 million and up, it's very, very slow.
So 4 to 7, how many weeks?
I couldn't tell you offhand, but I can tell you they are moving fast.
Okay, $1 million up. How long do you think? Is it months?
You could die.
Wow,
it's very slow. I'm seeing on MLS, which I never saw before. Well, there's a town, Flushing, Whitestone, in that area, and most of them are above $1 million. Now, if it was a year ago, I had a listing. It went at the first open house. Now I have one, and I'm looking at MLS, and I'm seeing all reductions with red arrows. The red arrows pointing down. And a year ago, you didn't see that at all.
Wow, it turned fast.
Let me ask y'all a question. On your personal websites, do you have lead capture set up on your website?
I do.
No.
Kenneth, what was that?
No.
You have no lead capture?
Nope.
Okay, well, Kenneth, I have a question for you. Do you do open houses?
Yeah.
Okay, so imagine that one of your sellers says, hey, I want you to do an open house on one of my listings. So you schedule the open house, you put up signs in the yard, you go and turn on all the lights, you make everything look good, you got some background music going, and you leave that open house with the doors wide open for 2 hours.
Okay.
Is that something you would do?
No.
You're doing it right now with your website. What you've done is you've set up a website so that people can walk around and look at your website and, oh, that's beautiful and that's lovely. And then after they get done, they leave. You have no idea who's looking at your website. You have no idea who's really interested because you have no lead capture. So what you're doing is you have set up an open house on the internet. Does that make sense to you?
Right. Well, I do have, I'm with the same brokerage as you.
Okay.
I have a website, kennyrealtor.com, and it's then directed to my EXP. So then there I would see if anybody visited.
So you use KV Core, right?
Yes.
Well, then you need to set up lead capture on that website. You're doing an open house and opening the doors and leaving. That makes absolutely no sense to me. None. Zero. I mean, we could argue this for hours and you're going to lose this argument. Why aren't you setting up lead capture on your website?
I assumed it was there.
Assume? Dude, do you realize how much money that you're losing by assuming? Yes, no?
No.
Okay, here's another thing you can do. All of your for sale by owners that you're talking to, put them in your prospects in your KV core. Set them up to get houses within a 1 mile radius, or if you know what price range they're moving to, set them up as a lead in your website so that they can get updates on houses that are coming up for sale when there sells. As soon as they hit the website and they have to register, now you've got them and you see what they're looking at. If you're not doing that, you're missing the boat too. Tracy, are you doing that?
So yeah, no. Whoopsie.
Yes, no.
Loser. Yeah, no.
All of your for sale by owners need to go in your website as a prospect.
Mm-hmm.
Set them up on a search.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want to be a part of that search, they will opt out themselves.
Yeah. You know,
But
that's free. I mean, that's free. They're going to tell us if they don't want that. Yeah, that's a good point.
you can even tell them, look, how would you like to get updates on what your competition is doing in your same price range?
Yeah.
So instead of you not knowing what your next door neighbor is selling his house for, I can set a search so that every time they do a price change, you get an email. Would you want to do that? It costs you nothing for me to do this for you. But you know what? Nobody's doing that either. I mean, this is a way to capture these for sale by owners, provide something to them that nobody else is doing, capture them as a buyer. All right, so here comes trick question number 1 for the day. You have a house that's on MLS and you see a house for sale by owner that's on MLS with a flat fee broker, right? So I'm a for sale by owner. I'm not a realtor. I'm a for sale by owner. And I have listed my house on MLS. Legally, can you call me the seller if you're a realtor?
Yes, usually it's in the directions. Call owner with the number.
And what are you going to call me about?
About your listing. I might have a buyer.
Okay. So you're saying, yes, you can.
Yes, it's in the directions. Every flat fee I've seen, it's in the directions. Call owner directly with a phone number.
Okay. Tracy, what do you think?
So I already know the answer because I've taken a class before. So should I shut up or should
Why
I?
don't you tell me what you think?
Yeah, I can call that seller. I can call that seller about a potential buyer if I have one, for sure. Right. And I can also call that seller about, hey, where are you going when you do sell?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly where I was
Where are
going.
you going? Can I help you? Where are you going? Can I help you find a realtor in place number next?
What drives me crazy is when I see these realtors posting on Facebook that business is bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, nobody has taught you how to prospect.
Right.
Nobody has taught you how to get leads. So what you're doing is you're paying for leads because you believe in entitlement and you expect somebody else to provide names and telephone numbers for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, MLS has listings for days. Why aren't you calling these people and ask them where they plan to move? Those are buyers that the flat fees don't want. They're not going to work with these people as a buyer. Hit them up to help them look for a house.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the first conversation I would have with them.
Mm-hmm.
The very first conversation. You've got hundreds of potential buyers to work with. Hundreds. If you use the Craigslist, if you use the Zillow ads, hundreds weekly that are available, but people are going, oh, I don't know where I'm going to get business from.
Mm-hmm.
It just drives me crazy. All right, so the goal of this one is to give y'all different ideas on how you can be different with for sale by owners. There's so many things you can do. You can do a friend request on Facebook and set them up on a group list. Are both of y'all using Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to show you something that you can do. Oh, share screen. Okay, can y'all see my website?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So this is my personal email page. My personal Facebook page. If you notice over here to the left, see where it says friends list? Did y'all know that was there?
Yes.
You did know?
Yep.
Now, because we're with the same brokerage, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing here. I'm always promoting different stuff to different states. So what I did is I set up group list within Facebook. So you could easily create a new list and call it for sale by owner prospects. And let's see, let's add Tracy to this list. Tracy, where the heck are you?
I'm not there.
What the hell?
I should be there. I'm offended. And I'm deeply shallow, so what the hell?
Okay, we're not friends on Facebook, loser.
No, I'm
Kenneth, let's see.
pissed. Is Kenneth a friend? Is he the teacher's pet? I'm going to be really pissed.
I hate Kenneth.
Look at that. Look at that face.
Kenneth is in the witness protection program.
I know.
I don't like it. Okay, let's add. Oh my God, let's add somebody.
I was looking for his name. Kenneth.
All right. So here's what you can do. You can set up a separate list for sale by owner prospects, right? And what's cool is that because I've only got one person on this list, anything that I post, those people are the only people who see the post. Their friends don't see it. Their family don't see it. Only that person sees the post. Now, if you do a post to the Facebook world, then however they've got it set up, their friends of friends or friends of family or whatever sees the post. By doing it this way, only the people that are in this list see the post. This is great for recruiting.
Interesting.
Because you can go after a brokerage who's not a part of our wonderful brokerage and send out posts and post where only those realtors with a different company, with the red company, see the post, or for sale by owners. So here's what happens. So let's make a post. When was the last time you converted a for sale by owner listing? We'll add a little color to it. And because I've only got one person in this list, she's the only one who's going to see it. Not her friends, not her friends of friends, only her. If you're not using this friends list to prospect, It's free. Free. Free, free, free. I mean, look at my list. It's huge. I got Florida, loan officers, South Carolina realtors, Louisiana realtors, insurance people, New Jersey people. And so what I'll do is I'll periodically post, and here's a brokerage that these are 100% realtors. They're on the 100% plan. They pay a flat fee, but there's a lot of turnover with this brokerage. So if you're not doing something like this, I would highly recommend setting up this inside of your Facebook profile. Any questions on that?
Yes, accept my friend request there.
I don't like you.
Look, he's trying to be teacher's pet. Kenneth.
Oh, he's actually got a face.
Look.
Let's see what he looks like.
I want to see him too. Look at you, Kenneth.
Kenneth, you're uglier than I thought you were.
You're so handsome, Kenneth. Look at that.
Hey, Kenneth. Oh my God, you're real.
I don't believe it.
There he is.
You're
With
real?
his mush. You know who you kind of look like? What's that actor's name? Kenneth, have you ever heard that you look like an actor?
A couple of them.
Who? Who, Kenneth?
John Lithgow?
That's it. That's who you look like.
I knew that's what you would think because you.
I don't even know who that is. What does he play?
Oh, he's in tremendous amount of movies. He's a great actor. He does comedy. He does Psycho.
I don't even know who. Yeah.
Did you ever watch Dexter?
Yes.
Well, he was a serial killer in Dexter.
Oh, yeah, you do look like him. You do.
See, look at him.
Yes.
With a mustache.
Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah.
It's 73. All right. So anyway, going back to the list, y'all really should set up a list. Use that in your when you're prospecting for sub owners. Another thing you can do too is if you do hashtag FSBO on Facebook, what'll happen is anybody who's ever posted anything about for sale by owner will show up in that hashtag. So if you have a seller who's got their house listed for sale by owner, do a hashtag and you can find that person.
You just do hashtag FSBO and enter it?
Do what now?
You just put hashtag FSBO and enter it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's it. Another thing you could do is join for sub-owner groups.
Like a meetup group?
No, Facebook groups.
Oh, got it.
I mean, there's a lot of different things you need to think about that you can do, things that are outside the box. You definitely remember, I'm all about doing things that are different than what most people are doing. Set up a group page. Set up your own group page. Call it Selling Your House Without a Realtor. Now, I think that's a great title. How many people do you think would join that group?
A lot.
Now, here's the catcher. Make sure that you have questions, 3 questions, before they can enter the group. Number 1 question, are you a realtor? If they answer yes, don't accept them. You don't need any competition in your group. Don't accept any realtors in this group. What state do you live in? How soon do you need to sell? Those would be my 3 questions. Now, the reason that I'm asking those questions, number 1, I don't want realtors in the group. Number 2, what state are you in? That's a possible referral to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3, how soon do you need to sell? That tells you how motivated they are.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you can do is you can post, and I would be very objective, the benefits of selling without a realtor and list them. The benefits of you, I mean, just be completely honest.
I can't hear you. We couldn't hear you.
I said,
Just pros.
don't be one-sided on using a realtor.
Okay.
Think of it this way. If you were selling your house as a for sale by owner, what would be the advantage to you by not using a realtor? And all of that is what you need to put. Because what you want to do is you want to get interaction with these people that join the group.
What was that you just said? Sorry.
Don't be one-sided on what you post. In other words, don't blast people with the fact that they need to use a realtor, because they're going to leave that group and you'll never see them again. Be objective. Imagine that you were selling your house without a realtor and post stuff like that. All right, so we are down to 20 minutes. So here's what I want to do. I want to do the series of phone calls with role play.
Oh,
So I know this is going to be exciting for you, Tracy, and for you, Kenneth. Kenneth, how long have you been doing real estate?
15 years, mostly part-time.
Okay. And are you right now going after for sub owners at all?
No,
What the hell? Why not?
I was waiting to finish your class.
Oh, whatever. Tracy, what about you? Are you going after for sub owners?
There are 30 years in the business, and no, I haven't yet. I'm scared. Here's why. I'm not waiting to finish class. I'm scared to death. This scares me.
What?
Well, you scare me, and they scare me.
Why do I scare you? I haven't done nothing.
You're horrifying, and so are they.
Okay, all right, let's back up. So you're scared of what to say?
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared of what to say, and I'm scared of them being assholes.
Well, number one, you're scared of them being assholes because you haven't learned how to take control of a phone call.
That's so true. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
There's a book.
Okay. I'm writing this down.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Go buy that book.
Okay. Okay.
Personality Plus
Okay.
by Florence Littauer.
Okay.
It's been around forever. It's going to cost you probably about $6.
Okay.
So when I was married, first year of marriage was very tough. We had to go to a marriage counselor because I wasn't used to living with somebody. I've been on my own for forever. And so one day I come home and there's this list on the counter of things that needed to be done around the house. So I'm looking at this list and I'm thinking, oh, she made a list of things to do. This is cool. She's finally started making a list. I've been harping on her about making a list. So the first item on the list was clean out the pool baskets. So I'm curious, and I go look at the pool baskets to see if there's leaves in them. And of course, there's leaves in them. So I said, what the hell? I'll just empty the baskets. So mark that off the list. The next thing was on the list was empty the trash. So I go look at the trash, and it's full. I'm thinking, what the hell? How come she hadn't done any of this stuff? So I emptied the trash and I marked it off the list. So she came home and she said, and I told her, I said, hey, I saw your list. I went ahead and knocked everything off for you on your list. She goes, oh, okay, thanks. I found out later that list was not for her. It was for me. If she would have told me, I want you to do this stuff, I would have said, hell no, I'm not doing that. But what she did is she understood my personality type. and made a list without telling me because she knows that I'm a list person. If you throw a list in front of me, I'm going to knock it out. So she understood my personality, and she found out a way to get around telling me what to do because I don't like to be told what to do. She gave me a list without telling me, I've got this list for you, and I knocked out the entire list. The reason that you are scared of for sale by owners is because you don't understand their personality type.
Oh, I do. I was one. Are you kidding me? Before I sold resale, when I was a new home salesperson, had no money, barely any equity, I sold my house for sale by owner.
No, I'm talking about you as a realtor
Oh, yeah.
don't understand the for sale by owner personality.
True. Though I
That's
was
why
one.
you're scared of them.
Yes. Yes.
And so,
They're still scary.
because you're scared of them because you don't understand their personality, they come across as too harsh, and you don't know how to handle their temperament.
Yes.
The way to handle the temperament of a for sale by owner is never to make statements.
Okay.
Questions.
Okay.
You can control the conversation with questions.
Okay.
If they ask you a question, that means they're trying to turn the table on you and they're trying to control the conversation. So what you do is you answer their question with a question.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. I want you and Kenneth to play a little game. So here's the rules of the game. Kenneth is going to ask you a question. You're going to answer that question with a question. Then Kenneth is going to answer that question with a question. The first person to make a statement after they hear a question loses the contest.
Hey, does a question have to be, does it have to make sense? Does it have to be a make sense question?
Well, it probably should.
Yeah, for God's sake. Kenneth, go easy.
Kenneth, don't go easy.
Kenneth, don't listen to him.
Okay. Kenneth,
I want to know why you wouldn't do those simple things around your house.
Because I'm not going to because I didn't want her to tell me what to do.
He's already playing the game.
I got one question for you with all your experience with FSBOs.
Yes.
What is the percentage that say they've had a very bad experience with a realtor and that's why they're doing it?
I tell them I agree with you. So have I. Even as a
what is your, like, a percentage? Would you say half, a quarter, you know?
It's probably 25%.
Okay.
And I agree with it. I agree.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of realtors that are losers out there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm calling you, because I'm not a loser.
Yeah.
You agree with them.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kenneth, I want you to start this off. I want you to ask Tracy any question you want. It doesn't have to even be about real estate. Tracy, stay on topic of whatever topic he starts with, and don't respond with a statement. Answer the question with another question. And y'all go back and forth. Y'all ready? Kenneth, go.
What town in Texas do you live?
Houston, Texas. Oh, shit. Oh, shit was a statement, too. Damn. Good thing we don't have cursing violations on this. Damn.
I would have got fired like after 5 minutes in the first one.
Was that the fastest? Because I'll bet it was. Sorry. I don't know. Why are you asking? Can we
have you ever been in Wichita Falls, Texas?
I can't remember if I have or not.
Oh, that's a statement, right?
Ah, shit. I don't do this well.
Okay, so let's stop right there. I did this. I was asked to speak to a Rotary Club.
Oh my God.
And I was trying to get them to understand about listening to people and quit worry so much about what you're going to say, but listen to the other person. Right. So I had everybody stand up. I said, everybody who wants to be the A's, raise your hand. Everybody else, you're a B. So A's, I want you to stand up to B. A asks B a question, B answer it with a question, and y'all go back and forth. First person that answers it with a statement, you have to sit down and you're left standing, go find somebody else who's standing.
Mhm.
So I did this to a room full of all occupations. The first occupation that was sat down by majority was attorneys.
Oh. Oh.
Now, I thought they would have done the best because they're really good at questions.
Mm-hmm.
But they were caught off guard because it was spontaneous. They didn't have everything rehearsed like they would in a courtroom. So the reason that I'm getting you to do this is because you've got to get really good with questions.
So interesting. Before this exercise, I actually thought I was decent at dialogue, right? I would have given me an A minus, maybe sometimes an A. Shit. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Piss.
I just work here.
Yeah. Wow.
So the reason that I want you to be good at this is because you've got to be in control of the conversations with the for sale by owner. Never let them take over the conversation, but you have to do it in a way that is answering their question with a question. So in other words, if a for sale by owner, if I call a for sale by owner and say, is your house still for sale by owner? Usually there is, yes it is, who are you? Well, I'm Robert Russell, but I need to know if you are still selling your house without a realtor.
Mhm.
So I'm going to answer it. Then within the same breath, I'm going to ask them a question.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what you got to get good at. You've got to get good at questions. The only way to get good is to start calling them. You
It's so
won't get
scary.
good by thinking about it, planning it, writing it down, reading scripts.
Mhm.
Just, you got to jump in the water.
Okay.
I mean, like jump in, not tiptoe, hokey pokey, jump.
Mhm.
So Kenneth, here's what we're going to do. Tracy, who is a realtor, is going to call you.
No.
Yes.
Oh. Why don't you guys role play? Because clearly I need to learn.
Tracy, I know how to do this.
That was a question, by the way.
I know. I know how to do this, but you don't. So
No.
the only way for you to learn is to do it. So, Kenneth, you're the for sale by owner. Tracy's going to call you. Ready? Go, Tracy.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi. Okay, wait. He's the for sale by owner. Okay. Hi. Is this the owner of 123 Main Street?
Yes, it is. Who's calling?
Hi, this is Tracy with Flower Hill Realty.
Oh, you're a realtor. I'm not taking any calls from realtors. Thank you.
I already blew it out of the
He
gate.
hung up on you.
Okay. Yeah.
He hung up on you. Isn't that exciting?
Can I do this again? Can I go over? Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi. I'm wondering if your home is still listed on the market. Is it
Yes, it is. Who's this?
Hi, this is Tracy. I just had a couple questions for you.
Tracy who?
Tracy Tanascoli.
Oh, okay.
So listen, I was wondering, it's still for sale, right?
Yes. Are you a buyer?
I may be, yeah. I just had a couple questions. You have a minute?
Yes.
Great. So do you have a pool in the backyard?
No.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's perfect, actually. So do you have a property disclosure? Have you filled that out?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. It's just a simple form that tells me a little bit about your house. I'd like to know more about it.
Okay. I don't know where I get that.
If you give me your email address, I can shoot you one over. But real quickly, before we get off the phone and I take your email address, how many bedrooms did you say you had?
14.
14 bedrooms. That's perfect. How many bathrooms?
23.
Okay. Excellent. That is
Hey, it's a massive house.
that is perfect. That is perfect. All right. What's your email address?
SKY at AOL.
SKY@AOL, right?
That's it.
Okay, great. All right,
Thank
I'm
you.
going to
Bye-bye
send you
now.
over that paperwork, and 23 bedrooms, 852 bathrooms. Sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was on the spot. I hated that. That was awful. Don't shake your head at me. I'm the student.
I'm not doing anything.
I saw it.
Okay, so Tracy, let's do role play and me and you. You're the first sale owner.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do with you what I typically do while I'm calling for sub owners.
Hey, I learn better if I get to be the listener, and it's you and Kenneth. I
No.
do.
You're going to be the first sub owner,
Okay.
and I'm going to do what I normally do, and that's check emails while I'm calling for sub owners.
Okay.
So if you see me not looking at you, it's because I'm distracted. I'm still talking to you, but I'm doing other stuff because this is a very boring process for me to call for sub owners. So I'm not going to get all hung up on. Oh my God!
Hang on. It's my landline. Hang on.
You have a landline? Kenneth, she needs to go back to the cave. She's still in the landline business.
They give
I've got one too.
Oh my.
They give it for free in my marketplace.
Okay.
Sorry.
I have one because in a blackout, that's all you have.
It's true.
Okay. All right. Ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Tracy?
It is.
Tracy, I was calling about a house that you have for sale. Is it still available?
It is.
How much are you asking for that house?
$750,000.
Awesome. And how many bedrooms and bathrooms?
4 bedrooms, 4 baths.
How many square feet?
4,200.
4,200. Okay, perfect. I'm a realtor. I've got a buyer that I'm working with. If I bring a buyer to you, would you be able to pay my commission?
Yeah, no, we're not paying any commission.
Okay, that's fine. Do you happen to have a seller's disclosure you can send to me so I can forward it on to them?
What's that?
What's the seller's disclosure?
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Well, you sold houses before, right?
A number of years ago, but I don't remember what that is. What's that?
Okay, that's the form that usually every state requires to give to the buyer so that they know what's wrong with the house, what kind of wiring you have, how old's the AC, all that kind of good stuff. If I send one to you, can you fill it out and send it back to me?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, what's your email address?
Hey, but wait, there's nothing wrong with our house. Our house is just fine.
Well, they don't know that because they don't know you. So I'm going to send you a form. If you'll fill this thing out and just email it back to me and I'll forward it to them. What's your email address?
Hey, wait just a minute.
Okay.
I'm not paying any real estate agent. I'm not paying any realtor. And
A realtor? Okay. Again, the question about who pays a commission is not a factor for me right now. We just need to determine if your house fits the qualifications that we're looking for. The only way to know that is to get a seller's disclosure for me to forward to them. And then once we determine whether it does fit the caliber of whether we need to look at it, then we'll go from there. So all I need to do is send you this form. If you'll fill it out and send it back to me, then we'll go through the next step.
all right, and you understand I'm not paying you.
That's fine.
All right. That's
Okay,
fine.
what's your email address?
Tracy123 at Yahoo.
Tracy123@yahoo.com. All right, you're going to get an email from robertjrussell.com at gmail.com. Check your spam box because usually Yahoo, a brand new email is probably going to hit your spam box. So I'm going to send that to you. If you'll just fill it out, send it back, and then I'll call you if we have any questions.
You got it.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Thanks.
Now, Tracy, who took control of that conversation?
You did the whole way through.
Kenneth, who took control of that conversation?
You?
Did she try to throw me off?
Yes.
And what happened when she tried to throw me off?
You just kept going.
Mm-hmm.
While I'm checking emails.
Mm-hmm.
I really wasn't even paying attention to you.
Mhm.
You know why I wasn't paying attention to you? Because I hear this crap every day.
Yeah.
Every single day, I hear the same crap that people give me.
Right.
It's like a broken record.
Right.
But I've heard it so much that I'm not even fazed by it.
Yeah, I know.
Did I answer any of your questions with a statement before I gave another question?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
So I answer your questions with a statement.
Yeah.
Then, before I even finished talking, I turned around and asked you a question.
Yep.
So what I did is I let you ask the question. I replied to your question,
Mhm.
and then I turned around on you and gave you another question.
Yeah.
Okay. So that concludes our last for self-honor class.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Damn. I still have training wheels on. And I
Well,
failed.
huh?
And I failed.
Well,
I'm too scared to make a call now.
no, that's crazy. What you've got to do is you've got to get on the phone and start making calls.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You got to do it. Go,
I
remember,
gotta
don't
call.
go after, remember, don't go
some.
after these people trying to list their house in the first call.
Yeah.
That's where you're screwing up. You've got to go in with the mentality that number one, the first call is a fact finder. In the insurance business, we call it a fact finder. You're only getting information about the house.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know if they qualify. The next call is going to be to start asking questions about what they sent you. But you've got to get the email address to set them up on an email campaign. So your goal for first call is to get information and get an email address. That's all I care about on the first call or second call. I need their email address. If they're not going to give me their email address, I am not moving forward with this call, because the first thing that I've got to have is their email address before I do anything.
Okay.
Then you start moving closer towards what the buyer says, the buyer didn't trust you, all that kind of good stuff. So that is it for today. I'm sorry, I've run out of time. I've got a call that I'm supposed to take at 11. This has been a blast, hasn't it?
Yeah.